new Australians of the future. Thank you.
Thank you. The member for Monash.
Deputy Speaker, the first thing I'd like to do is associate myself with the member for Calwell's words in her speech she's just given and associate this side of the parliament with it too. Deputy Speaker, I seek leave, if there's no dissent, to table a document today, an article from The Australian to explain what it is. Australia recorded relatively more excess deaths during COVID-19 pandemic than Sweden, by Adam Creighton in the Washington Post. Leave granted. Thank you. Deputy Speaker, I couldn't help be more excited than I am today to read this. Just some snippets from the article. New OECD analysts comparing excess deaths in 2020 and 21, the worst years of the pandemic, for 36 developed nations, reveals Australia had the 5th lowest increase in excess deaths, but came in behind Sweden, which attracted global scorn for resisting closing businesses, schools and ordering citizens to stay at home. Including excess deaths defined as those over and above what was expected for 2022, as well puts Australia even further behind Sweden, with an 8.2% increase in excess deaths over the 3-year period compared to Sweden's 3.1%. The OECD reported, ready for the next crisis, investing in healthcare resilience, found half of all COVID-19 deaths occurred among people aged over 80 across 22 OECD countries, with comparable data, and 1/3 occurred in nursing homes, 1/3 of the deaths in nursing homes. Mexico and Colombia, which did impose lockdowns, endured the greatest increase in excess deaths of about 50%. Japan and Sweden, the only two OECD nations to resist them, prompting international condemnation at the time, had among the lowest increases, ranking 4th and 8th respectively. 2 US public health experts in 2020 recommended the Swedish approach. Stanford University's Jay Bhattacharya and Harvard's Martin Kulldorff said they felt vindicated but despaired at the lack of appreciation of the findings and feared the same policies will be followed again. The thing to emphasise is that Sweden had one of the lowest excess mortalities in Europe during the pandemic, no matter how you cut the data. Bhattacharya said if lockdowns were necessary to prevent death, it should have had one of the worst. Sweden served as a control group for the world in ethical pandemic management and was a rousing success. He said the success Australia had in having little COVID on the island for a full year came at a tremendously high cost. 270 days of lockdown in Melbourne, essential imprisonment of the population. Underlying the health population, including rates of obesity, vaccination levels against COVID-19, and the capacity and quality of the available healthcare system explained the wildly different. And our state of economy decreased by 39% and their economy increased.
The member's time